I don't think I'm angering anybody when I say 2015 wasn't a good year for the WWE in terms of both kayfabe wise and real life. Kayfabe, so many terrible storylines and a flattering mid card and lack of investment in younger talent. And real life, Hulk Hogan getting fired for his racist tirade, Bill DeMott getting fired for being a jerk being a jerk while training people, Billy Gunn getting fired for his steroid use, Seth Rollins' girlfriend getting fired for having old pictures on Instagram of swastikas, Jimmy Snuka being charged with his ex-girlfriend's death, Roddy Piper and Dusty Rhodes passing away, and of course all of the injuries. In 2016, hasn't started off much better. John Cena turned his rotator cuff, even though I've checked his Twitter, he might be back in a few weeks for WrestleMania, and Daniel Bryan retiring. But this list is not meant to be negative. It's the complete opposite. Instead of talking about all the bad things, I'm going to talk about the good stuff that happened with WWE. And while a lot of terrible storylines and terrible things happen in real life, this is one of the best years for WWE in terms of in-ring action. Now, this is only WWE and NXT. No TNA, no Ring of Honor, and nothing from Japan. So let's start off at number 10. So number 10, Sasha Banks vs. Becky Lynch, NXT TakeOver Unstoppable. This is the match that made Becky Lynch a star. Before this, she was seen as the least relevant of the four horsewomen. And while she had the most experience, she never really got to wrestle to her full potential. And, that river stomping gimmick didn't help her when she first debuted. This match, if you ask me, was a very back and forth, physical, technical match. Both women really working on each other's arms, and Sasha just barely putting off on the bank statement. And, after the match, the standing ovation for Becky Lynch, you could tell she was finally accepted by the NXT fans. Number 9, Dean Ambrose vs. Seth Rollins, ladder match, Money in the Bank. Now, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins always have great matches against each other. They've never had a bad match against each other. This match was a match Seth needed. He was booked so terribly as champion and deserved so much better. Seth, for the first time, had to win on his own. No authority, no J&J, no Kane, no Big Show. And he did bring the intensity. Really working on Dean Ambrose's leg, literally burying him under a ladder and chairs. And this match ending on the other hand was bittersweet. On one hand, Seth won cleanly on his own, without help. On the other hand, he only won because of football rule, because both Dean and Seth had their fingertips on the belt, and when they both came down with the belt in their hands, Seth is the one that came down with it. So Seth had to win by football rule, but hey, at least he didn't need any help. Unlike Battleground, but I'm not going to go into that. Number 8, Finn Balor vs. Kevin Owens, Beast in the East. Now, I came to this match not knowing about Finn Balor, and came out of this match a huge fan of his. You can tell the Tokyo crowd was clearly behind Balor, and Owens once again showed why he's one of the best heels in WWE. I'm glad he didn't forget about his feud with Cena. I'll get to that later. Doing the 5-knuckle shuffle, giving both Finn and the crowd that you can't see me. The best, however, was during the flower custom for Japanese title matches when Kevin threw the bouquet of flowers out of the ring into the aisle. Even after the match, Tatsumi Fujinami came out to congratulate Finn. Finn bowed to a legend. Finn extended his hand to Kevin Owens, and Kevin walked away. Just like I knew he would. Number 7, John Cena vs. Seth Rollins, Night of Champions. I was originally going to put the SummerSlam match on this list, but after rewatching both matches back to back, I can say that I enjoyed the Night of Champions match more. Now, I know someone's in the comments going to say, oh, you only enjoyed Night of Champions more because Cena won. No. While SummerSlam match had a bigger feel to it, it was headed by a few botches and an absolutely terrible finish that for the entire match made Seth look strong, and the finish once again made him look incredibly weak that he needed Jon Stewart's help. But in this match, I felt the moves were more crisp, and they worked a faster paced match, and since Seth had to do double duty and had a match against Sting right after this, it makes sense that he would want to, have this match end quickly. And Cena winning was the right call because Seth holding both belts, I don't think was a smart idea. So he had to lose one, and I'm glad it was the U.S. title he dropped. Number 6, The Undertaker vs. Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell. Now, Brock and Undertaker's feud last year was really good if you ask me, at times. There were some dumb moments, mainly the SummerSlam matches ending, but the SummerSlam match was honestly a really good match despite the ending, just like Cena and Rollins. And the WrestleMania match they had wasn't that good, mainly because of Undertaker's concussion. But this match was really good. It told a good story. It was really physical and brutal. I think no rules apply to Undertaker and Brock Lesnar because these two men bladed and pretty much no one cared. Because really, it's matches like this that, which is why, when we need blood because it helped intensify the feud. I wish Brock wouldn't always blade during nearly every match, but whatever. And exposing the wood under the ring was a really good spot. And the way Brock won by hitting Undertaker in the balls, same way Undertaker beat him at SummerSlam, hitting him with that 5 on the wood, and picking up the win. Thankfully, I love Undertaker, but Brock had to win that match. And after the match, Brock left the ring. Undertaker gave him the nod. You got what it takes. It was a good touch. Honestly, they kind of played it up as it was Undertaker's last match until Bray Wyatt, interfered. The Wyatt interfered. Number 5, John Cena versus Cesaro, the July 6th episode of Raw in Chicago. This match was as good as it was much better than I ever thought. Now, the match they had the week before was really good, but Kevin Owens ruined it. This, on the other hand, was a 30-minute classic on Raw. Now, the U.S. Open Challenge for John Cena, I'm pretty sure everyone agreed was good because it gave superstars who don't usually get to show their talents a chance, and we got some of the best matches of the year. And this match was easily the best U.S. Open Challenge match. Cesaro looked incredible, showing off some of his best moves, how strong he is, and they actually had me believing Cesaro might actually win. Now, I know some say, well, Cena had a match against Owens at Battleground like a week from Sunday. Wouldn't that mean Cena obviously going to win? What if they added Cesaro to a mid-show threat match? That's why I thought Cesaro might actually win. But Cena won with the Super AA. Because that's usually his last resort when someone kicks out of the first AA, and Cena, retains U.S. title, and I think this is the match that Cesaro needed. Even losing, he needed this match. John Cena, unlike Vince McMahon, is really high on Cesaro, and this match shows why. And Vince, please push him. Number 4, the John Cena vs. Kevin Owens trilogy. Now, I'm cheating a little here by giving number 4 to 3 matches, but if I didn't, all 3 matches would be taking a spot in this list, and I wouldn't want to fill this list up with 3 matches between the same 2 guys. This trilogy of matches shows that PG wrestling can work on the main roster. Throughout all 3 matches, Cena and Owens never left the ring once. The first match shocked me. Not because Kevin Owens won. I actually had a feeling KO might win that match. But because he won cleanly. Heels don't usually win cleanly, especially over John Cena. Now, Owens losing the second match wasn't even bad because of how strong he looked in the feet, kicking out of 2 AAs. This is how you make someone lose, but not have them lose their momentum. Bonus points for Owens powerbombing Cena on the apron. And the third match is the most controversial. While it is my least favorite of the 3, it was still a good match. Kevin Owens kicking out of 3 AAs, one being a Super AA, was a nice touch. But the problem is that he lost by, tapping out. If you were to make him lose by a pinfall, that would have been okay. Or he could have, just won the match. This feud, especially the first match, made Kevin Owens a star. You could argue on whether or not he should have won the third match. I personally think he should have. But since this rivalry, he's become one of the best heels in WWE. Number 3, Bayley vs. Sasha Banks Iron Woman match, NXT TakeOver Respect. Coming off the heels from the match they had at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, I came to this match with high expectations. Especially when it was announced an Iron Man match, and boy were they mad. I came to this match thinking it was going to be a back and forth match with both women showing mutual respect, no pun intended. And for the first 5 minutes, it did seem that way. You could tell they both were very humbled, and being in the main event of a pay-per-view. But after the first 5 minutes, Sasha sucked Bayley in and slammed her head into the mat. And from there, Sasha turned in one of the best heel performances I've ever seen, by a woman or by anybody. The way she got both her falls, the first by breaking Bayley's eyes and rolling her up, the second, and the other by throwing her to the LED board and getting a count out fall, and of course making Izzy, Bayley's biggest fan, cry by snatching her ribbon out of her hand and taunting Izzy and Bayley's family. Any heel that makes a little girl cry like that is one of the best heels in the company. And next to Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, I think Sasha is one of the best heels in WWE. Both women brought a new type of vision in this. The way Bayley won by working on Sasha's hand, just like Sasha did in Brooklyn, and in the end, Sasha couldn't lock the bank statement all the way when Bayley put her in the modified armbar and when Bayley put her in the armbar, Bayley was really bending Sasha's fingers as far back as possible, forcing her to tap. After the match, Regal and Triple H presenting both women with a bouquet of flowers, and the entire NXT crowd and Russell giving them a standing ovation. It made me a little emotional. I'm not gonna lie. Some tears may have been shed. Hey, I'm a 15-year-old. I'm not afraid to admit when wrestling made me cry. I'm not. Number 2, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. Triple threat match, Royal Rumble. Now, if you've seen my Royal Rumble review, this is the only thing I liked about the pay-per-view. Just, you have 3 talented wrestlers in a fast-paced, hard-hitting match. Brock was booked incredibly strong. I don't know if it's possible to actually book Brock Lesnar weak. He was hit with 2 curb stomps, 4 AEs, getting put through a table, hit with steps. And this is the match that made me a Brock Lesnar fan. This is how Roman Reigns should have been booked. And this is also a big night for Seth. His first WWE title match, and he showed up. And while originally I was kind of disappointed we weren't getting a blow-off match between Brock and John. But had Seth not have been in this match, I don't even think this match would have been in my list. Seth, is showed in this match why he is the best wrestler in WWE. And like I said, this match would not have been nearly as good without him. And it's also the match where he debuted the Phoenix Splash in WWE. Cena always gets a bad rep from some people, and you know who you are out there. But he always delivers on the big stage and gave an incredible performance also. This match, while my Royal Rumble review is something I'm not proud of, this match was one thing I'll always look at the Royal Rumble 2015 and think that was worth going back to. Now, before I get to number 1, I have a few honorable mentions. John Cena vs. Seth Rollins, SummerSlam. Had it not been for a terrible ending and a few botches, this match would have been on the list. But this match, you take my 2 favorite wrestlers on the main roster, put them together, and you get a really good match out of them. The Fatal 4-Way match between the 4 Horsewomen and NXT rival. Take the 4 best women in the company and put them in one match, and you pretty much get what you want. A really good match, a really good Fatal 4-Way. And Sasha winning, it was the time to put the title on the boss. Boss, if you ask me. Most of John Cena's U.S. Open challenges, I'm not even gonna name them all because this video will be on for a long time. The WrestleMania 31 main event. I came to that match along with the pay-per-view with very low expectations, and throughout it was a physical match. Brock suplexing Roman over and over and over again. I enjoyed it. Roman coming back for a second. I really thought they were gonna have Roman beat Brock that way, and I really don't think I would have been happy with that. But of course, Seth Rollins catching that Money in the Bank was perfect. Being a huge Seth Rollins fan, when his music hit, me, my cousin, and my brother marked out. And when Seth won, I was so happy for Seth Rollins. But it said that it took fans backlash, just like for 2 straight years at WrestleMania, to put the title on someone we wanted. And had fan backlash might stop Reigns from winning the title at WrestleMania this year, but who we can? He's obviously going over tomorrow night. Sting vs. Triple H WrestleMania. Also, this match was honestly a match I was looking forward to, and the stuff with the NWO and DX made this match for me. And would have been a match I liked even more had Sting won. Sting honestly should have won this match because he lost. It leaves a really bitter taste in a lot of people's mouths. But I can kind of look past that and still see a really good match between 2 old guys. No disrespect. And the NWO versus DX, I'm pretty sure that's something a lot of people want to see. A lot who watch wrestling in Attitude Era. Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. This match was one of the best ladder matches in a long time because not only was it 2 really good workers, because most of the time they didn't even use the ladder. It was really a fight of stopping the other from getting the ladder before they even got to the ladder. For the first, I think, 10 minutes of the match, the ladder wasn't even in the match. And I'm glad they didn't turn to a TLC match. They barely used the ladder. This is more about the wrestling than the ladders. Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins, WrestleMania 31. Who am I kidding? That RKO was still awesome. And everything else about the match was pretty good too. I really wish J&J hadn't gotten involved. Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker at SummerSlam. Once again, this match was hurt by a terrible ending to a really good match. And this is how I really wish the WrestleMania match had happened. And maybe I probably could have booked I probably could have liked the WrestleMania match a little bit more.
Keep going.
Yes. What you say? His therapist. Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe and NXT London. A lot of hard hitting, stiff kicks, and a really good match and something I was really looking forward to. And now the number one match of 2015 is, drum roll, Bayley versus Sasha Banks, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. That was me. After all I said about the rematch, some may say, well, Cameron, how come you like this match more? Why not tie them? Well, I felt this match was worked better, and this match for me personally had more to prove. The way the Divas Revolution flopped on the main roster, I was almost ready to give up on women's wrestling. Then I saw this match, and I was blown away on how good it was. It told a great story, and where do I start with the action? Sasha belittling Bayley from the beginning. Bayley's intensity. Sasha crushing Bayley's hand. Sasha hitting a flip over the top rope on a Bayley, and all the drama. This match was a masterpiece in terms of both storytelling and in-ring action. And the moment with the four horsewomen after the match was an emotional and well-deserved moment. This match redefined how a lot of people look at women's wrestling. And for all these reasons and many more is why I give Sasha Banks and Bayley at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn the number one match of 2015. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with me because top 10 lists are never the same, but this is my list and this is how I feel. If you like this video, like, leave a comment, and subscribe. If you didn't, like, leave a comment, and subscribe. My name is Kyron Chase, and I'll see you guys later.